What up, y'all? Back again. This is Belgium right here. I think all of this might be Belgium. I'm pretty sure. And again, you're going to find a lot of these older photos. There's very few people, which would be in the range of that 1850s era when they're taking these photos of these cities and assessing the damage and what they need to do. That's my opinion of it. I mean, they're fully built out, y'all. And they're amazing structures. So, and they don't even have, some of them have years that are from like the 1300s they were built, and then some are in the 1800s they were built. But it's just very eerily odd that there's no people, very few people, and then everything is yellow skies and everything, beautiful architecture, and it's like mud flooded out. You wouldn't have architecture like that and then streets of mud. That just what doesn't add up, because that's just not common sense. That's just not how people are. That they added the clock to. Look how cheesy the clock is compared to the actual structure. They did a lot of things when they took a lot of technology out of these towers. They put clocks on them, so it looks like a clock tower. But they had other mechanisms in them and used to draw down electricity. And there's proof of that and how that works. People have explained that out. But, these are just amazing structures here, man. We're talking about most of these structures are before 1880. Look at them. Look how high they go and how tall they are. And in a lot of places, there's no pillars, so it's not the easiest thing to build. But they're just amazing. Amazing structures. And that's a construction photo right there. But what they're doing is they're showing a lot of times one or two pictures, and what they're actually doing is putting windows and roofs on it because they got damaged in the catastrophe. So they make it and they call it a construction photo. You'll find this all the time. The building's already up and it looks like it's been up for 1,000 years. But they when they're going to dig it out and to retrofit it, and a lot of the windows got blown out or the roofs got damaged on a lot of these buildings. That's typical after the mud flood. That's kind of what had occurred. And while they're performing that type of construction on it, the remodeling, they take pictures and they call it the construction photo. And some of them have been like CGI'd of them doing a construction photo of it. But they do tamper with all of these historical pictures. And then this right here is a floating castle or something. And it's just, I guess, used as in a fictitious way there. But, you gotta let your mind wander, man. You never know what the heck's going on. And then you see that thing, that's more not for a billboard. That's like some sort of antenna system. But these are beautiful structures. I do think when it comes to a lot of the statues and stuff, that they either when, sin was cloaked back on this place, that some of the ornamentation or the statues are changed and became sinful again, It's like the Garden of Eden. You didn't have mosquitoes biting you and drawing blood from you, but after sin was in the garden, that type of stuff occurred, or a tiger would want to bite your leg off, but not before. So I kind of look at it like something like that. That sin cloaked the earth again, and these buildings went from pristine to the age put on them, and the atmosphere changed, and a lot of the properties, because the enemy was loosed. And so it resembled his kingdom to some degree. His corruption over the goodness, the pure. It's like if you had a car in heaven, it wouldn't rust, but it does here because we're dealing with sin. And with that you have decay and things that occur because it's a different atmosphere. So that's how and some of them have been refaced and defaced. So, because we've seen the befores and afters. So some have been manipulated, but I don't think that they manipulated all of them. I think some of the things that you see that would be gods and goddesses or whatever, either we're misunderstood what it is or what it represents, or, like I said, it was changed like overnight. But yeah, I mean, you look at these cathedrals and things. I mean, like, to build a cathedral like some of these in these photos and some of these structures, I mean, come on, man. You don't see anything close to this stuff being built today. It's impossible. It's humanly impossible. And this stuff is a dime a dozen in this era. I mean, could you picture it with the glory of God shining down on it and all of the antiquitech working? I mean, these things might have all turned on and operated like a computer system. Because when you go from city to city, that's what they changed one of the buildings into. That crap. But when you go from city to city, everything is positioned. You'll see it's very interesting. Like a theater is going to be in the same place. An airport is going to be in the same vicinity from other cities. And an arena, they all have specific places in the city. And then they changed the building to that. Did you see that? They took an old Millennial building and they put that on it just to mock it, probably. That's terrible. But this is what they do to these structures. But when you go from city to city, everything is set up the same. It's almost, I don't know if it has something to do with energy but you look at some of the stuff from above and it looks like computer chips to a motherboard, And the way these things are ornamented, the ornaments on them, could you imagine if maybe they used to operate, they almost look like some of the cathedrals and stuff. Look like they had moving parts to them that froze or fossilized. Did something happen that fossilized all this? Thank you for watching.